Why do people obey, even when every part of their mind is screaming, "This is wrong"? Imagine this. A man in a white coat tells you to press a button. You know pressing it will send an electric shock to another person. You hear the screams, you see the pain. Yet when he tells you to keep going, you do it again and again. This isn't fiction. This is the infamous Milgram experiment, one of the most disturbing psychological studies ever conducted. But why? Why do we surrender our will, silence our doubts, and obey without questioning? The answer lies in the dark corridors of obedience psychology, a force so powerful it can turn ordinary people into soldiers, followers, or even accomplices in cruelty. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to expose the hidden mechanisms of obedience, how authority shapes our minds, and why most people never realize they're trapped until it's too late. Stay with me. What you're about to learn will not only change how you see society, but it may also protect you from becoming another pawn in someone else's game. The authority trap. Why power silences resistance? Authority is one of the oldest and most potent forms of control, from kings and emperors to bosses and political leaders. The structure of society is built on one principle: people listen to those above them. Psychologists have shown that we are wired to associate authority with safety. When someone appears powerful, credible, or higher in status, we instinctively assume they know better than us. This instinct can override logic, morality, and even survival instincts. Think about uniforms, a police officer's badge, a doctor's lab coat, a general's stars on their shoulders. These symbols act as psychological triggers. They bypass rational thought and tell the subconscious, obey this person. And here's the darker side. This blind trust makes us vulnerable. Governments have exploited it, corporations profit from it, and cult leaders weaponize it. Because once someone convinces you they hold authority, they don't need chains to control you. You'll chain yourself. But authority is just the beginning. The next layer of obedience runs even deeper. The fear of isolation. Why we choose the herd over ourselves. Humans are social creatures, but our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. We fear rejection more than pain. We crave belonging more than truth. This is why conformity is such a powerful force in obedience psychology. When everyone else follows the rules, breaking away feels like death. It's not just about going against authority, it's about being cast out of the tribe. History proves this over and over. In Nazi Germany, countless ordinary citizens followed horrific orders, not only because of authority, but because dissent meant isolation, punishment, or death. But it doesn't have to be war or dictatorships. Look at the workplace. If your entire team agrees with the boss, how likely are you to speak up against a bad decision? That silence is obedience disguised as teamwork. The herd offers comfort. The lone wolf risks everything. That's why so many stay silent, even when the truth is burning inside them. In the hidden rewards. Why obedience feels good. Here's the most twisted part. Obedience doesn't just keep us safe. Sometimes it actually feels rewarding. Psychologists call this the path of least resistance. When you obey, you avoid conflict, you avoid punishment, you get approval, and approval for the human brain is addictive. It's the student who follows every rule to get the teacher's praise, the employee who sacrifices his own ideas to keep the boss happy, the follower who does what's expected to feel accepted. Each time obedience earns us reward, whether it's safety, recognition, or belonging. Our brain strengthens that behavior. Like a drug, we crave it again and again. And without realizing it, we train ourselves to obey more, to question less. But what happens when obedience becomes dangerous? The dark side of blind obedience. The most chilling truth of obedience psychology is this: most people don't realize they're capable of cruelty until authority commands it. The Milgram experiment wasn't a one-off. Variations of the study across decades and cultures show the same result. Ordinary people obey orders that go against their morals simply because someone told them to. And this is how history repeats. Soldiers obey, citizens obey, workers obey, until obedience becomes the silent engine of oppression. But here's where the real danger lies. Those who understand obedience psychology can manipulate entire populations. Politicians, media moguls, leaders of secret organizations. They all know one truth. If you can command obedience, you don't need force, you just need influence. So the real question is, are you truly free, or are you obeying without even realizing it? Now you've seen the dark psychology of obedience, the authority trap, the fear of isolation, the hidden rewards, and the chilling consequences of blind following. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Obedience isn't always evil. Sometimes it's necessary for order, safety, and survival. The danger begins when obedience becomes unquestioned. So ask yourself, when you follow, is it because you've chosen to, or because you're conditioned to? Because in the end, every society, every system, every power structure survives on one thing: your obedience. Break the cycle and you break the chains. The choice is yours. Stay blind and obedient, or open your eyes and take control of your own will. If you want more dark psychological truths and high-level strategies to master your own mind instead of being controlled by others, subscribe now. The next secret might just change the way you see everything. Stay dangerous, stay untouchable. Until next time.